Good evening. My name is Angela Taylor, and the claim that I will be presenting this evening is, should autism be diagnosed in children under the age of 3? The main questions I will be using to better understand this claim is, what are current diagnostic processes for autism, and how is children's age related to accuracy of diagnosis? What are the potential long-term effects of not diagnosing autism in children under the age of 3? How do cultural and social factors play a role in diagnosing autism in children under 3 years of age? And are there any potential negative consequences of early diagnosis of autism in children? Based on this conclusion, based on my conclusion that the diagnosis before the age of 3 does not accurately reflect child's development and may lead to misdiagnosis and unnecessary interventions, I don't believe children should be diagnosed with autism before the age of 3. One of the common assumptions related to the claim is that early diagnosis leads to better outcomes for children with autism. This assumption is based on the ideal that early interventions can improve a child's development. However, research has shown that the accuracy of an autism diagnosis before the age of 3 is questionable and may lead to inappropriate and potentially harmful interventions. There is evidence to support the claim that a diagnosis before the age of 3 may not be accurate. A study by Young and colleagues in 2008 found that the diagnostic stability of autism spectrum disorder significantly increases after the age of 3. This means that the diagnosis made before the age 3 may not necessarily reflect a child's long-term developmental trajectories. This information informs the main question of how a child's age is related to the accuracy of the diagnosis. On the other hand, there is also evidence to support the idea that early diagnosis is beneficial. One of the studies found that early interventions for children with autism can lead to improvements in developmental functionings. This information informs the main question of whether early diagnosis can lead to better outcomes for children with autism. While there are arguments for both sides, I believe that children should not be diagnosed with autism before the age of 3. This conclusion is based on evidence percentage, which shows that early diagnosis may not accurately reflect the child's long-term developmental trajectory and may lead to inappropriate interventions. It also leads to labeling of child, can cause them to have some difficulties in learning, and sets them up to be judged by teachers and other students. The current diagnostic process of autism should be carefully evaluated and revised to ensure accurate and timely diagnosis of children.